It's a crackpot breakfast. Off we go. Good morning. Welcome to the crackpot breakfast. Today we're having chicken quesadilla and french fries for breakfast. Mmm. I dip it in sour cream. Because I'm okay with having a double chin. Recently had the chance to see the film Trumbo. Kick-ass movie, my god. Very self-righteous film. And I like that. It's not a bad thing. It's a great movie, starring Bryan Cranston from Breaking Bad. And he plays this screenwriter back in the 1950s who's blacklisted. Because he's a dissenter. Wants to see change come about. And so he gets blacklisted. And he won't comply with the congressional hearings. Are you now or have you ever been a communist? And he's like, you don't have the right to ask me that question. So he goes to jail. And he's married to Diane Ladd, who every day looks more like her husband, Sean, fucking Goonies guy. The hell is his name? Sean, so I'll just yell it out later. But anyways, Walter White goes to jail. And then when he gets out, he can't get work. So he starts writing scripts under secret names, and he has his friends sell his scripts under their name. And one of them even wins the Academy Award. And then later, when he's writing a script under a made-up name, that won an Academy Award too. So then, eventually he comes out and is like, Hooga booga. I'm the guy that wrote the thing. And, it just shows how full of shit the blacklist was. A scare tactic during the Cold War, Russia. I'm sorry, but looking at communism and capitalism, I really don't see a difference. I see a few people getting a lot of stuff, doing very little work, and then pretty much everybody else doing a whole lot of work and getting nothing much. So, capitalism, communism. I mean, if communism's so bad, why do we buy so much stuff from China? Mm-hmm. Cuba's communist. Fuck you, Cuba, you get nothing. China's communist. Take the money, we're making it rain. Really messed up in Beijing right now. People wearing oxygen masks and shit. Pollutions are crazy. You'd figure them being communists, they'd have, regulations about that shit. Oh well. So yeah, I'm watching Trumbo. Great cast. Fucking Louis C.K., John Goodman, and Adebisi from Oz was on it. I have to look up his name. Adewale Akinwa Abadib. So Adebisi was on it from Oz. Oz was a show on HBO in the late 90s about prison. Fucking great show. Just about how people manipulate other people to get a reaction they want. It was all about head games, and God, it was a beautiful show. And I recommended it to a bunch of people, and like 99% of everybody I ever recommended it to hated it. Because of the penises. It was a show about guys in jail, so occasionally you'd see a cock. Which doesn't affect me at all. I don't mind seeing a penis. It looked like a snake with a spongy head. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Some people get weird about dicks. They see a dick and they're like, I got a penis. Like, when I went to see the movie The Watchmen, great movie. Zack Snyder's a brilliant director, but you shouldn't write scripts, ever. Sucker Punch? The fuck was... Visually, yay, but every time they talked, no. But in Watchmen, there's a scene where Dr. Manhattan's walking through Vietnam, and he's just going, like, pointing at dudes, and they're bursting. They're blowing up. He's just pointing at them. And the Canadian theatrical release, he's walking through the jungle naked. And you see his junk for a second. His blue penis just waving in the breeze. And people in the theater actually went, ew! I didn't give a fuck that he's melting people. But they saw his dick. I watched it 2 weeks ago on Netflix. They CGI'd a bikini bottom over his dick, over his junk. But they left him killing people. Which is a hang-up in our culture I don't get. Like, if you ever watch that show Hannibal, I love Hannibal. That's 3 seasons of a perfect show. There was a scene with a couple in a hotel room, and they've been killed, and they're suspended from wires from the ceiling, and their backs are cut out, and the skin is lifted to look like wings. Incredibly graphic. But NBC blurred out their butts. So you can cut people up, play with their skin, but don't show a butt cheek. That's indecent. The fuck is wrong with us? Something wrong with us, man. We're so hung up on swear words and dicks, but we're so okay with murder and torture. Murder and torture all you want. Who gives a shit? I mean, without murder and torture, the fuck would all the cops on cop TV do? All these cop dramas. You take murder out of the equation, that's a boring fucking show. Have them writing up tickets for jaywalking and shit. Looking for bikes. CSI, Bike Division. Filling out paperwork, complaining about the coffee. Coffee in police stations usually sucks. I drink it. Wake me up at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm drinking your fucking coffee. Where are all the donuts? But penises are indecent. Which I don't get. It's basically just a longer thumb with a spongy head. People get weirded out. In fact, it's against the law to whip it out. But I could throw on battle fatigues, get in a plane, go over to Afghanistan, put a bullet in a fucking farmer's head, and give me a medal. But if I whip out my dick before I leave, I gotta go to jail. Something wrong with that equation. But yeah, people get weirded out by dicks. Which I don't get. It's not that big a deal. Just a piece of skin, hangs off your body. Ah. It's like years ago, I was at Niagara Falls. And we went back to the hotel. We'd been out all day. And you walk around Niagara Falls, you go up the hill, down the hill. You go do all the touristy stuff. And, you know, then you wipe. So you go crash at the hotel room, sit in the hot tub. And Dusk Till Dawn came on. Fucking great movie, right? Tarantino? Yeah. Rodriguez working together. And then that scene in the bar where Selma Hayek does her striptease. But it's not even really a striptease. She just kind of walks seductively up and down this catwalk. She didn't really get naked. In fact, she didn't get naked at all. So we're watching in this hotel room, and she like does a sexy walk, and then she pours some kind of booze on her, and it goes down her leg off her foot. They cut that out. They cut it out of the hotel version. It was on TBS, some network. But right after she does her sexy dance, the vampires go crazy and start ripping up all the customers. That they left in. They ripped the throats out of people. They peeled skin off their face. Everybody's screaming and dying. That was fine with the network censors. But don't show a sexy lady walking seductively. Don't show that. Something wrong with us, man. We're hung up on the wrong things. Like there's this commercial in Canada right now. And it uses an expression I've heard for like the last 2 years. It's starting to become more and more common. I don't like it. The commercial has this old woman. She's taking care of her mom. And, she's just telling her problems. Like, trying to take care of my parents and bad economy. And, I'm no activist. But. And then she voices some criticisms about government and spending and our healthcare system. I'm not an activist, but since when did that become a bad thing? I'd much rather spend a day with an activist than a hedge fund manager or the director of regional sales, East Coast Division. I hate it when empty corporate people add titles and adjectives to their already unimpressive job. Oh, I'm regional supervisor to the... But that's 3 regions instead of last year was 2. Nobody cares. Especially your boss. They don't care. They don't care. The mothership is not stressed about who it oppresses. Greed makes life disposable. Oh, what do I do? Oh, I'm director of a regional overlook of a report in perpetuity of empty corporate shell. Oh, what do I do? Oh, I'm the I review and report back to people that don't know who I am. I evaluate operations, and I basically point out people's faults and then replace them when they get sad. That's my job. I find people who are unstable and then and make them quit. Gee, that's a good job. I exploit mental illness. That's basically my job. I find people who are unhappy and make them want to quit. Well, good for you. That's mighty white of you. That shit offends me. Empty corporate dialogue offends me. Cox need not apply. I'm painting. Ooh. This is what I painted last night. Pretty fancy. Call it Cubically Contained. This is a kick-ass song by the Headstones. Headstones were a Canadian band that were really cool. And now their singer is a cop on TV, or was. He's on some cop drama. Flashpoint. Or Flash something. I don't know. He's an actor now. Too bad. I like it when he sang songs. Did more. I wish there were more activists and less empty corporate titles. Which could be the upside of us running out of oil and fresh water. Maybe we'll have more activists and less empty corporate titles. Here's hoping. That's it for the Crackpot Breakfast. Enjoy your weekend.